All right, guys, so it is Saturday, May 8th. I am headed off to Nicholas Smith Trains, which is located in a suburb of Philadelphia called Broomall. You know, if you live in the Philadelphia, Chester County, Lancaster County, Delaware County, Philadelphia County area, you've probably been, and you're in the hobby, you've probably been to Nicholas Smith Trains. They have a absolutely massive inventory of rolling stock locomotives from every scale, really. They've got a good selection of G-scale stuff too, if that's what you're into. They have a pretty vast online store, which makes shopping from them really easy because you really don't have to go to the store itself. You know, you can do it all remotely, and they've kind of bolstered their online systems and getting orders out quickly since the pandemic hit last year. So, you know, in my other videos I've said, you know, obviously I'm in close proximity to Strasburg, so typically I'll just run there when I need something small or quick. But fortunately today, you know, I was able to kind of escape from home and go over to check out what they have. There's some things I have my eye on, so we're just gonna go and check it out. I'll try to get some images from inside the shop, you know, trying to be as respectful as possible to everyone else that's there, but kind of show you kind of how it's laid out. It's a toy store on the first floor, and then the second floor is where they have all their trains and stuff. And so we'll try to get some pictures so you can see it if you've never been there, or maybe you're just not local. But it's always kind of nice to go check out a new hobby shop, and I always love going to places that have a lot of, you know, Legacy or MTH Premier motive power, you know, open and on the shelves for you to do some like window shopping with, which is, you know, dangerous when you're trying to budget for things, but at the same time, it's nice to be able to see the trains out of the boxes and in real life before you go ahead and make a purchase on them. And that's traditionally what I do when I go to Nicholas Smith Trains. I have an idea of what I might want to buy, or how much money I'm willing to maybe spend on something. And I don't always come away with an engine or anything, but we'll see what today has in store. So it is about an hour from my house. I should be there in about 30 minutes. So we'll check it out and see what they have, and then that'll lead to probably an unboxing video, which might be in this video, it might not be. We'll just have to wait and see what we're able to find. So we'll hit the transition here, and we'll probably be pulling in the parking lot. All right, guys, here we go up the steps to the train store. All right, just finished up at Nicholas Smith. Again, obviously some clips in there of some of their selection. It's massive, but I did pick up one locomotive and a piece of rolling stock, and then I picked up some stuff for the kids layout, that fast track layout. They got some open pieces of track, so got some, excuse the dash cam talking there, some bigger, wider curves for the fast track layout for the kids as well. So successful trip. So we'll head back and then dive into what we got. All right, everybody, I am back from my trek out to Nicholas Smith Trains, and I have today's take with me right here in this box and in this bag down here. So let's go ahead and see what I was able to get. But before we do that, the inventory that they have at Nicholas Smith Trains is incredible. And one of the things that's interesting, I was there about 2 years ago, and I was trying to find the containers for my Atlas Gunderson cars, and they have a wide selection of those containers at Nicholas Smith Trains. And so they don't necessarily have what you're looking for on the floor. They have a giant warehouse that's attached to their upper train room that I was welcomed to go back and kind of explore. So I was able to go back there. They had just racks of these Atlas containers. And so I was able to kind of pick through and pick the ones that I have on that train. But just back there is just an unbelievable inventory of trains. And they have another warehouse that's not attached to that building that has like over $1 million worth of inventory in it. So if there's something that you need and you live in the Philadelphia area, that is the place to go. You know, some of the things that I saw there are things that are on my list that I would love to have. The Broadway Limited set with the long haul K4 that came out a few years ago. That's something that I've always had my eye on. You know, the ticket price on that's right around $17.99. It's just out of reach for me at this point. And you know, Lionel continues to release catalogs that have things that I'm going to pre-order and save some money on. And I just didn't pre-order that when it came out in the catalog because I wasn't ready to spend the money at the time. They have a bunch of different locomotives that are there. I mean, it's an endless amount. They have the Amtrak set, the MTH Amfleet set. I actually bought that set when I bought my Premier AEM7 locomotive, and it couldn't run on my layout. The curve that I have over here by towards the turntable on my main line, it would derail. Now those Siri thinks I'm talking to her. It would continue to derail, and those trucks have they're just four-wheel trucks, and they're kind of spaced apart, which is prototypical. And I don't know if that was part of the problem or not. My layout is a minimum 072 curve, and I could not get those cars to run on this. So I ended up having to return that whole Amfleet set, and that's when I bought the 21-inch Amtrak passenger cars from Lionel that I pull behind that AEM7, which is a bummer. Not that there's anything wrong with the Lionel cars, but the Amfleet cars just looked, I think they look nicer. So I unfortunately couldn't run those, but I saw that set again. They had it in their display case there at Nicholas Smith today, which was neat. So anyway, that's a little bit more information that you probably came and tuned in to watch. So let's go ahead and jump in to see what we've got here. So the first thing that I purchased, you might be able to see, Fast Track. So this goes along with another recent video that may or may not have come out already. I bought some more Fast Track. So I have 4 curves. These are the, let's see here, the 048 curves. And I only got 4 of them. 12 of them make a full circle. I probably should have bought more, but to be honest with you, I bought a locomotive and some other things, and so I wasn't really willing to spend all that much money. These were already, like, these are used pieces of track they had, so I was able to get these for a decent price. And these are going to be for the kids' table. So we're going to go ahead and set these over there. But these will be for that, so we can do a little bit wider curves and just, again, continue to make that more of a dynamic set. They did have some switches. They had one used switch for $50, a remote switch, Fast Track remote switch, but it was an 072 switch, which I don't really want an 072 switch. I'm looking for like 036 for the kids' table to save some space. And those were all like $85 to $90 some. So I still don't have any switches. One of these days I'll find some. If anybody watching has a Fast Track switch or switches that they're looking to get rid of for a decent price, leave me a comment or send me a message. All right, so that takes care of that. What else do we get? We've got a little Woodland Scenics shack. Here, this is the tin shack. This is gonna go, I'm thinking, over by the yard for right now. So we've got some buildings over there. It's not obviously a yard office, but it's at least some sort of shed. This will probably go up in an agricultural scene later on. So we got that. Stick this over here. And last but not least, we have an MTH box. Let's get rid of this bag. So in this, we're actually not going to open this up. We're going to save this, and we're going to open up this one first. So let's check it out. So this is obviously a Lionel box. So Lionel engine box. So that kind of gives that away. But let's go ahead and see what we have inside. I don't want to give it away by showing you the sticker. that new train box smell. All right, moment of truth. So, what we have here is a 460, number 972, which might not mean anything to anybody just yet. Let me get this guy set up here. Let's check out the tender. Strasburg. This was a Nicholas Smith exclusive. 25 of these were made for Nicholas Smith trains, and this is, as it says, it is 972, which sits at Strasburg on their deadline. Needs to be restored. It is just kind of rusted there currently. But this is a beautiful locomotive, and if we flip it over here, you see 17 of 25 written right there on the bottom of locomotive, which is pretty cool. So they had this, they posted this on their Instagram the other day, that they had these available, and I just couldn't say no. You know that I have the MTH Premier set of the Strasburg passenger cars, and so I thought this would be just a great addition to go along with those. And they've got, actually they have some more. They don't have the current paint scheme of the Strasburg passenger cars there anymore. They've got the green and yellow and sort of another different hued red, which is more the older style that those cars were back in the day. They weren't always the nice maroon that they are now. So there's that locomotive. So we're gonna get this thing fired up here. But before we do, we have one more box to open, so let's check it out. All right, so in this little MTH box, you might be able to guess what's going to fit in here. Not a big locomotive, but it's gonna be something, must be something that goes along with that Strasburg engine that I just purchased. Otherwise, why would I hide it from you? So this is the Pennsylvania bobber caboose to go along with that Strasburg engine. Now this obviously is MTH, not Lionel, so it's not like it was sold as a set, but this is the same bobber caboose that is at Strasburg. So I thought it was fitting that I went and grabbed this also while I was there. There was only a few of these left from a large inventory that they had got, that Nicholas Smith had made from MTH. They didn't have any other Strasburg lettered cabooses left, but they did have this little guy, which is awesome. So what we're going to do is get this set up. We have got to run this around the layout, but if you know Strasburg, I think we have to put on the O-scale coupler on the front so we can pull it in reverse.
Dispatcher, can we depart to the main line? Over. Hold for track orders. Dispatcher out. Dispatcher, I'm made up. Am I cleared to the outbound? Over. You're cleared outbound. Dispatcher out.
Bill? Whistle again. right, so thanks for tuning in and watching that video. Always exciting when you get a new train on the layout, and especially one that goes along with some of the passenger cars that you already have. So I'm happy to have that Strasburg engine. The smoke unit smokes like crazy. The whistle steam is awesome. Just missing a swinging bell or of some kind. So I guess now the question is, I've been running my Lionel Atlantic E6, I guess, that I weathered with my Strasburg cars. Really ever since I got that. I got it specifically to run those Strasburg cars, and I weathered it right away, and I really like the way that it looks. It's the only engine that I've ever weathered. So I guess the question is, do I leave the Strasburg engine alone, keeping in mind it's 1 out of 25 made, or do I do some weathering on that? So I guess that's where my head is right now. I really like the weathered engine kind of pulling those passenger cars. I think it looks more prototypical. Obviously, the Strasburg is more of the tourist railroad. It does still function with some freight service. So those engines are kept up, and they're very nice. There's not a whole lot of any sort of weathering of some kind on them naturally. But what are your thoughts? Leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. That does it. Take care.